journalizing some sales returns in a general journal. Like I said, I know a couple of you have already. I'm just going to journalize these two transactions, and right here on the opposite page is the example. You see, it's only one page for some description, and the other page for the example.
What page is it?
280. So, journalize the transactions on page 6 of the journal. So, page 6. June 3rd, we granted credit to Will Banks for merchandise returned, $457, and then the sales tax was $36.56. For sales receipt, $356. There's total the credit, 41 credit memo. So, step 1, you're going to write down the date, so June 3rd. And then sales returned and allowances, we're going to put that in the description. Then our credit memo number, CM41. So that goes in our document number, CM41.
CM41?
Yeah, CM credit memo. Okay, so the merchandise was $450. So we'll put that here in the debit column, just like it shows in the example. $457. And then remember, we've got to keep the sales tax separate because we're going to have to do something with the sales tax later on, but we're not going to do that in this chapter. So our next line down is going to be sales tax payable. So we've got to credit that account too. So here it shows our sales tax was $36.56. So we'll put that under the $457. $36.56. That shouldn't I messed up there. So now in our last line, we're just going to put the account for the business that the customer we're giving the credit to. So accounts receivable, I'll just use AR for short. That's typical. It's a normal abbreviation for accounts receivable. And then let's see, Will Banks and Associates. So we've credited our sales returns and allowances account for the merchandise. Because remember, these would go on ledgers if we had ledgers for this next step. So then we've credited our sales tax payable, which would go in the ledger. So now we've got to credit Will Banks. We've got to credit them the whole amount though. So that's going to go over here in the credit column, and it's going to be the total of the tax and the merchandise. And it even says right here the total $493.56. So there's the first one. Now for our next one on the 6th, gave credit to Westfall High School for damaged merchandise, $67. They didn't have any tax because they're tax exempt. And there was their sales receipt. And then the credit memo was $42. So put our date. And just like above, we're going to have our sales return and allowances. And their return was $67. So then above here I've got, the line for sales tax payable, but the school didn't have any sales tax, so we don't need to write that. All we need to do now is just add the line for the AR for Westfall High. AR Westfall High School, and the total, because there's no sales tax to list or add up, so the total credit for Westfall is going to be $67. I don't think there's anything else after that. Oh, forgot to write down the return. CM credit memo 42. That's it for the work together. See if the On Your Own has anything extra in here. So the On Your Own, just the first one on the On Your Own is to a high school, so no sales tax. And July 4th, there's sales tax. So just pretty much the same as this one, just transactions are in opposite order.